Hello everyone, this is Joric. Welcome back to Portugal and Beyond. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Please subscribe for more information about what it's like to move and live in Portugal, as well as our European travels. And I try to get out timely European travel news. As I see something, I try to post it to make sure you know what you're getting into, good, bad, or otherwise, when you're coming to Europe. This is another subscriber question that I'm answering, and I want to thank Rachel for doing so because she actually asked me this in person. I got to meet her family a few months ago, and she's also responded in one of the comments with, could you please ask this question? And I think it's one that the whole community could benefit from. So here it goes. Her question is, how do you go about making friends with expats and Portuguese while you're here in Portugal? Is it difficult? Is it easy? Are there any tricks to being able to meet people? So I'm going to answer that two ways. I'm going to first answer it from expats and foreigners like myself, and then I'll answer it as best I can from getting to know Portuguese and locals. So from the expat community, most people that live here, in fact, all of them that live here, don't have family here. So we're all looking for, I'll say, a sense of community or family. So we lean towards the expat communities. There are a couple of websites, one called Internations and another one called Meetup, where you can list what country you're from and then start looking for events and connect with people and build kind of a network. Those are great places, as well as on social media, especially Facebook. There are numerous groups with tons of events that you could join. And whether it be you want to do it by what country you're from or certain background or certain common thread issues that you share, you're able to do just about anything and join several groups and build up a great network from different, I'll say, circles or different cliques within the expat community that live in Portugal. And whether that be on the mainland or whether that be the Azores or Madeira, there are a number of things that you can take advantage of. We've been on several trips with fellow expats that we've met from all over, not just the United States where we're from, but Canada, England, India, Nepal, Portugal, Germany, Japan. So we've been able to meet people from all over the place, and because we don't have family, we all become each other's, in some cases, extended family. We don't have a big group of expat friends. I want to say probably 20 to 30, because so many people come and go through Portugal. We may see them for 6 months and then they leave, and we may not see them again. But of the people that have stayed, there's probably 20 or so between couples and singles that we happen to cohabitate with and go to restaurants and movies and festivals and trips. So we have a good core and we feel really good about that. So I think that's very much a plus. And I think if you're an expat coming from any country, if you sign up with some of these groups, as long as you, I guess, have a decent personality and you want to meet other people, you'll have no problem. And it's a great experience because it's a great country. So you're going to be able to meet some like-minded people while you're here. Then the other answer to the question that Rachel had asked is, what about locals and Portuguese specifically? And we found it more difficult to build friendships with Portuguese people. And I don't think that that's a difficult thing. I just, from my understanding and in talking to many Portuguese people, they just said they tend to stick to themselves. It's very hard for outsiders to be able to, even like being invited to someone's home for dinner. That's a big deal for someone that's Portuguese. But for example, we had a tutor who invited us over to her place. Her parents cooked meals for us. We felt very comfortable with them, and they would speak Portuguese, so we'd learn Portuguese from them. We'd speak some English, so they would learn a little bit of English from us. So it was a great quid pro quo. In our building, with the exception of a couple that's from, I believe they're from Spain, everyone else is retired. And when retired, they're 75 to 90 as far as their age group. They do not speak any English, but we know enough Portuguese that we can converse with them. And we've had some really nice conversations. I'll say very simple because my Portuguese is lousy. so I can't really have deep conversations, but they've been very nice. Now, I met someone before the pandemic. His name is Bruno, and he's Portuguese. He's from Braga, so the north of Portugal. And he said something to me because I said, we're having a hard time meeting Portuguese, and that's still the case even through the pandemic and now. And he said, why is it so hard? Because we feel like we're nice people. We've invited people over for dinner. Expats have taken us up on that. Portuguese have not. And he just said, well, Portuguese, we're very friendly people. But you may not be friends with us, or we may not be friends with you. And he didn't mean that as a slight. He just said that Portuguese are friendly. They're nice. I think they're hospitable. I think they've been very helpful. 99% have been fantastic. I think what he was meaning, and as what we're finding out, is that going that next step to where you're going to be a part of their family or their circle, I think Portuguese take that very seriously. So because we're expats and we may not be here very long, we may be here for 6 months, a year, 2-3 years, I think that they need to see a certain level of commitment from us as foreigners, meaning investing in Portugal. And I don't mean real estate or whatnot, just staying here, eating the food, getting to know the culture, getting to know the language. That as you start doing that, then it's more easy to open doors. But even we talked to Bruno a few months ago, and I reminded him of our first conversation. He said, well, have you been invited over to anyone's dinner or any Portuguese place for dinner? And I said, well, there's just been one place in all of the people that we've met. And he said, it's kind of to the point. He said, it just takes us a long time to be able to warm up in that kind of way. So it's not a bad thing. I think it's very good because I will say in going to restaurants, we have our certain local Portuguese hangouts that we go to, and we can speak enough Portuguese that we can have some great banter with the owners or the serving staff, and it's fantastic. So I don't know that we necessarily need to have any in-depth, deep relationships with Portuguese, and we also understand that until we're here longer, and frankly, if I know the language a little better, it maybe take a few more years before many people feel comfortable enough to really have us join in their community. But we do have the expat community, and I really think if you're moving here, if you're social to any degree, and it doesn't mean you have to go out partying at all, I just mean showing up to some events and getting to know people, going to a restaurant where you're meeting new faces, if you're okay with that, you'll be just fine, and you're going to have a fantastic time here in Portugal. I really think that that's something that, as you're looking to retire here, many of you watch these videos looking and thinking about retirement. You're going to find people from your fellow countrymen. You're going to find them because many of the people that are on the top 10 or top 15 list of residents living here, there are thousands of people that you'll be able to run into and have acquaintances and relationships with. And in time, if you get to know the language and if you really get immersed, you will get invited over maybe once in a while to some homes and really become immersed in some of the Portuguese lifestyle with some Portuguese friends. So as always, thank you so much, Rachel, for the question. I greatly appreciate you watching the channel, and enjoy your travels.